Kind of nasty shit you got in there.
It's Armra. Welcome back to the Grounded podcast. Today we're going to be diving into a topic that honestly changed a lot of who I am today, just in practicing this, and I'm excited to bring it to you guys. Today's topic is based around mind, which is our second category, and I'm excited to dive in.
You want to tell them what it is?
Yeah. So, something that I wanted to talk about and that Tom wanted to talk about today was just staying present. And it's something that sounds very simple, but honestly, it's not. You know, the grass is not always greener on the other side. And there's a big difference between having goals and working towards, goals and achievements in the future and losing sight of what you have right here and now and staying present in the here and now and appreciating that, showing gratitude for that.
Yeah, however you want to get into it. I completely agree, though. Like, that is one thing that within the last year that I've caught. I wouldn't say I had to learn. I've just caught myself not staying in the present way more frequently than I had been. I think it was easier because I was more involved previously where I was or where we were. So I didn't really have to worry about that. And that was me staying present. That was my grounding. That was comfortable space for me. That was my safe space.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
was staying in the present in my safe space there. But yeah, it is something that I've caught myself thinking about way more than I normally have. And it's just because, but in it, it's because we are here and there's a different set of opportunities for us that we haven't had the chance to move forward on, and we get excited about them, and then we find ourselves going down rabbit holes about it and then causing stress because of it.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, we can do this, and then we can also do this, and then we can do this and this and this and this.
There's
And then
almost too much opportunity.
yeah, and then you're just like, wow, I'm super stressed out and I'm not even enjoying like being here anymore.
I think it's interesting that you said that you were more grounded in where you were at before, because I was the complete opposite. Like I was not the person I am now. What, 2 years ago? When did we get there? 2 years ago? 2022?
Mm-hmm.
So, I had a harder time staying present because I knew that there was a countdown to leaving. I was very excited about that countdown because I wasn't happy where we were living.
She thought there was a countdown. We were staying there forever.
Okay. I just had a really hard time because it felt as if there were no positive things there for me besides the friendships that I had made. But there was that constant anxiety with those friendships of they're leaving soon, then I'm going to just be here by myself anyway. And that's kind of the only thing I felt I really had to hold on to. And I was going through my own identity crisis, 2 times over, like getting out of the military, becoming a mom. That is 2 really hard things that people don't talk about. But I really realized that I was constantly looking forward to what was going to happen years down the road or what I wanted to do later on. And I wasted a lot of time and a lot of happiness by just waiting for that and yearning for that when I could have established something more, I think, for myself. So then moving here, I had that reverse effect. I literally felt like I stepped into what I had hoped for, and I feel so blessed to be here because I really do look around and I'm like, I love our life and I love our home and I love our family and I love the schedule that we have and what we're creating, and we have all these amazing goals and things that we're building and things that we want to do, and it's exciting, but I'm not like anxious to get there. I'm not upset about where I'm at because I want to be there. And that's like the mindset shift I think that I had from Georgia to here, at least, was it's so much easier and healthier for me to stay present but working towards a goal than to be like, oh, but in 3 years we're going to go to this new place, or we're gonna buy this house or like whatever it is.
You had mentioned that it was like a total reversal. I think the thing though with that is it's not wrong. Like we're not saying that it's wrong to catch yourself thinking about those things because it means you have goals. It means you have opportunities to do things, and it means you're driven in some way. So it's totally okay to be thinking about those things, but you do just have to, like, once you recognize that you're doing that or you've gone a little too far, you have to just catch yourself and be like, we're doing great. Like, we're doing okay. It can always be worse, but we're doing pretty great where we're at right now. And great looks different for everybody. Like,
That's a big thing too.
and I don't want to define that for anybody, what great is going to look like, because you can't do that. You get to decide that, and I don't want to say that you can make any situation great, because there's definitely some situations that are just awful situations to be in.
Yeah, we've
But
been there, but I think that
what do you
we were.
mean? Oh, yeah. I was like, what are you talking about? I was like, we've
But
had
I
a
still,
really good life.
yeah, I know. Besides
Oh,
that,
I
but
was
I'm
like,
saying like, I think that even with those extremely hard situations in hindsight, like looking back, you're not going to necessarily find the good, but you're going to find the strength that you had to
mhm,
overcome it or what you had held on to that you're still going to be thankful for. And that's something that I have, right? Like I found my faith because of that situation. Um, I found gratitude because of that situation. I think I also really was introduced to staying more present because of that situation. Like so much came to light for me to ground me and to be like, let me take a step back. Like I want to live in the here and now.
mhm. Like, I just think it's super important that you recognize when you're not staying present, and figure out a way to stay present, because it's
Okay, so let's talk about that then. Like, if somebody is struggling with this, I want to be able to help them, right? So, for me, a way to practice that was gratitude. And it started, I can think back to literally,
when you say that, do you mean just like like choosing to be thankful for certain things?
yeah, I think practicing gratitude comes in many different ways. And it's not necessarily like faith based. It could be if you're a faithful person or a religious person, which I find to be two different things, and that's okay. Um,
I
But
agree.
how I practice gratitude is literally saying it out loud when I'm feeling it. It doesn't even matter where I'm at, who's around, what I'm doing. It's as simple as me literally when I go outside. Like you'll be at work and Cleo and I are having our outside time and I just look around.
Yeah, Sid has outside playtime.
We do. We do. We like tend to my garden and do all the things, but it makes me so happy. Like it makes me so happy seeing Cleo pull the rocks out and put them on the lemon tree or like climb under the garden, and I'm literally just like, thank you God, because I'm a faithful person, so I practice gratitude towards God for giving us this life, um, by just saying like, thank you God for this house, like thank you God for this baby girl, like thank you for allowing me to establish my garden. Like it could be the smallest things, and it honestly started way back because my mom, like, I would come home from school and she would be like, tell me three good things about your day and then you can complain if you want to. And when you get to the end, you don't even want to because you're like, damn, I had a really great day. Like, I
Hmm.
got to play outside. I had a good swim practice. I did all my homework at school. I can just do whatever I want right now. And
Hmm.
it transfers to adult life. Like, but I also practice it in my prayers. Like, I am somebody that when I lay in bed at night, like, the last thing that I do is say my prayers in my head. It's usually how I fall asleep.
And it sounds like
And
this.
oh my God. You fall asleep before me. You don't even know that. Anyway, God, trying to be all serious and like share my deep stuff. But yes, okay, so practicing gratitude is a way that you can stay more present, I feel like. Do you have any other ideas?
I do, but I think the kind of related to gratitude, what you're basically getting at is taking, like, to stay present, because that's what you're trying to do by practicing gratitude. To stay present, you're taking what's in you or on you and you're getting it off of you in a way. Like you have all this feeling inside of you and you're releasing it. Like, thank you for that. When we're going, like, for on the military side of things, when you're going through a selection course, one of the biggest things that you can do to, like, quote unquote stay present is like help somebody else out or focus on somebody else other than yourself. And then you're not thinking about, like, wow, this jerry can is freaking heavy.
Yeah, I'm
Like,
really tired.
yeah, just
That
like,
makes sense.
just
Yeah,
check on somebody else. Hey, are you doing all right?
I
Or
love
like,
that.
don't cheerlead though. I don't get down with that. I hate cheerleading.
I
Never
don't
get down
like
with cheerleading.
cheerleading.
But like, find a way to help somebody else or take your thoughts off of yourself. And gratitude, you're speaking to God when you do that. When you're in a selection course, you're speaking to somebody else.
Hmm.
Or even when you're like, I remember practicing gratitude in the middle of selection. I was like, I'm literally getting paid to do this. This is pretty awesome. This is a sweet
See,
workout.
that's a perfect, yeah,
Yeah.
that's
I
a
like,
perfect way
I,
to just like switch it. Even though it might have been a really sucky, negative moment, you found the positive in it, and that's
yeah.
a really good way to stay present.
Yeah, it's just like you have to appreciate where you're at and what you're
Hmm.
doing. Because literally nobody else gets to experience what you are experiencing, and that makes it super individual. But it
Unique.
makes it like super your own.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Nobody else can take that from you. That's your
Yeah.
experience, and you have to hold on to that. Like
Hmm.
that's yours.
I
Um,
totally agree. And I think like the last thing that we can connect it with is the fact that, you mentioned that it's a positive thing to want to work towards a goal. And I think that defining that line between like not being present, not practicing gratitude, not, I guess, even like celebrating the small wins is still going to be practicing gratitude to some degree if you allow yourself to, because that's where that negative line would be crossed to where it could be unhealthy for you if you're always looking towards the future, always just wanting that one more step, but not appreciating how far you've come.
do you remember what? Do you remember the old commander that we had down in Georgia?
Yes.
Remember what he always said? Just take a minute to smell the roses.
I like that.
Yeah, that stuck with me.
I
That was
like
like
that a
the one line that
lot.
he told me that always stuck with me. And I tell the
He's such
kids
a good
here,
guy.
the kids, I'm still a kid.
Well,
But
no.
what does that mean?
They're like fresh out of high school, kid.
Not all of them. There's some that are
Oh,
older than
well.
me. But like that's one of the things I try to tell them. It's like, hey, smell the roses. I get right now that what you're doing sucks.
Hmm.
There's no way around it. But I've done it too. But I'm like, it's awesome what you get to do. Like, whether it doesn't have to be my job, it can be what you're doing. Like you are practicing esthetician, a practicing esthetician. You're like, I literally get to do this. It's pretty cool.
I know, I love it. I
Yeah.
literally say it out loud all the time. I
That was
like
like
that a
the one line that
lot.
he told me that always stuck with me. And I tell the
He's such
kids
a good
here,
guy.
the kids, I'm still a kid. Like that's one of the things I try to tell them. It's like, hey, smell the roses. I get right now that what you're doing sucks.
Hmm.
There's no way around it. But I've done it too. But I'm whether it doesn't have to be my job, it can be what you're doing. Like you are practicing esthetician, a practicing esthetician. You're like, I literally get to do this. It's pretty cool.
I know, I love it. I
Yeah.
literally say it out loud all the time.
Yeah.
My
Just like
clients
take a
think that
second to be like, this is pretty cool. This isn't so bad.
I literally think about that in the middle of appointments. There's just something about doing what I do and being like, I'm really helping somebody right now, and I'm also enjoying every single second of it, like my craft almost. I mean,
Hmm.
it's the same with doula too. Like, if I am providing information, I'm like so excited to do it, and I love doing it. I look forward to the text messages, I look forward to every little tidbit of information, and I always say, like, thank you for showing me this, because as I believe in God, I also believe in the power of the universe. I know you might feel differently, but I really feel like, no.
No, I just don't believe in the power of a stone, like a little rock. That's
Okay.
different.
Okay. Anyway, I really believe like this path was shown to me and like presented to me because of everything that we went through and because of, you know, just all of the changes in general. So I'm always just like, thank you, because I wouldn't have been here without that change and I wouldn't have been able to. So I feel like I owe a lot of that just to say thank you and to put that good energy back out there.
Sounds like the best way to stay present is just being thankful for where you're at.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I thought I was gonna have more on it, but it's just like no.
It's
The
that
best way for me
simple.
to stay present is just to be thankful for where I'm at
Yeah, be thankful, show
and be
gratitude.
mindful. That's like a little bit different, but being mindful
We should definitely talk about being mindful because I think
eventually,
that's,
yeah, on a different
yeah,
one because
but I
I'd
would
like to like
absolutely
actually
agree.
dive into that one.
Well,
But
yeah, same.
being mindful for sure. I know like I literally have it written down in my phone,
We'll get there.
but like the air when like riding on the side of a helicopter, like the air blowing on your pants, like I can literally still hear like rotors spinning, and that makes me feel so good. It's the nerdiest thing ever, but
That's super cool.
I'm like, dang, dude, I love that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I like seeing your face because I know it's genuine.
yeah,
I love it. You're so cute.
yeah. So I think to wrap up, like how to stay present, what we've come to a conclusion just by talking through this one is gratitude. That's the easiest way to do it. Be thankful for where you're at. Find a way to be thankful. There's no situation in which you can't be thankful for something. And that could kind of stem from being mindful of where you're at. So you look at the trees outside, and you're like, dang, that's pretty cool. I know it sounds dumb, but like that tree is growing. Or like I'm in a car driving. I'm literally getting to drive a car. I have transportation. That's awesome. Everything's okay. You know what I mean? Or if you don't have a car and you have to walk, I can still walk, dude. Like, at least I have legs to walk, you know? Like, find a way to be thankful because somebody always has it worse. And that'll keep you present. And then just mindful. But we had to kind of tie those two together. But yeah, I think outside of like ways to do it, it's super important to stay present. And that is wave tops of what it means to stay present. But that's one of those topics I think that needs to be more of a conversation with your peers or your family or whoever so that you can stay present. Like recognize when you're not staying present and then have a conversation about it. We can't give you that conversation in a 15-minute podcast, but at least if you've listened to this, now you're like, okay, I need to be aware of staying present and now I can find people to talk to about that. And please reach out. Seriously, I am down to help anybody out. I do not want somebody like feeling like they can't reach out and talk to us. I know we did say that we're not doctors, but I would hate for somebody to be just like, well, I don't have that support system and I don't know who I can reach out to. Reach out to us. Like I am super down to talk to you about anything. Like trust me, I have messed up a million times and like I'm still work in progress and I'm still trying to figure out how to stay present every single day. I just have a platform, I guess, to talk about it, but yeah, I am struggling with it just as much as everybody else. So please reach out if you need somebody to talk to.
Absolutely. Yeah. As we always say, comment section is open, the DMs are open. We'd love to hear from you guys. We'd love to hear any tips or anything else you would want to add to this topic alone. And if you enjoyed it, please hit subscribe so you know when we drop our episodes. Stay tuned every Monday and make sure that you check us out on Instagram and Spotify podcasts if you don't want to watch the video. But thank you for joining and listening to Grounded the podcast.